Warning: the following video contains explicit language, which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Are you ready?
Hey everybody, it's Jeff. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Yeah, it's been windy here today and cloudy, like 40 mile per hour gusts. So yeah, the air is not cold; it's kind of warm. So we're getting this battle of air fronts here above our heads. Yeah, so that's the way Maine is today. So I hope everybody's having a good aftermath of the New Year's celebrations. I have a video from iHip News, and it's pretty interesting to hear because, I mean, it's not long. It's not even 20 minutes. It's, but... they bring up some things here. Apparently, MAGA is not at all happy here with Elon Musk, a.k.a. Adrian Dittman, a.k.a. Kekius Maximus. Okay, they are not at all happy with him right now because for some reason Trump had come out and said that we need to bring in more people into this country. And apparently that was something that Musk had said, and now Trump's echoing it, and MAGA's pissed off because, hey, Trump was supposed to get rid of people from this country, but now he's talking about bringing in people into this country. So he's flip-flopped them on a big issue that they went and voted for him over, and they are not happy, okay? So let's go to this video here, and they'll break it down for us.
Back.
I'm so happy to be back.
She is back. She is back from a European vacation to the United States of America. And let me tell you what's going on. We have Elon Trump. Sorry, that was Freudian.
Or was it?
But appropriate.
Yeah.
So we have Elon and Trump who are now talking about how we need to be bringing people in. We've got to bring people into the United States. And I don't know if you remember this correctly, but I remember that he kept saying people were flooding in and we need to get them out during the campaign.
Right. Wasn't it rapists and murderers released from insane asylums were flooding the U.S.?
Hannibal
That was
Lecter.
all the problems in the world.
Hannibal-
Electrocution by sharks. All of those things were happening at the hands of immigrants. They were eating dogs and cats. I mean, I'm old enough to remember that.
Yeah. All of that stuff was going on. So we have this gal, all of right-wing Twitter's kind of going bananas. So Salty Girl, who is a right-wing Twitter influencer, Elon Musk tweets, and then Donald Trump, his wife, retweets it. And here's what Elon Musk tweets. Anyone of any race, creed, or nationality who came to America and worked like hell to contribute to this country will forever have my respect. America is the land of freedom and opportunity. Fight with every fiber of your being to keep it that way. Donald Trump retweets it. Salty Girl says, what the fuck is going on here? This is not what we voted for. So then everybody starts piling on to Salty Girl's retweet. Todd Fleckenstein tweets, it's not going to end well. And Salty Girl says, no. And then American Roots, who has, all this patriotic stuff in their profile, says, I don't remember Elon's name on the ballot. And if it had been, I definitely would not have voted for him. He acts like he's the president-elect. Salty Girl says, I don't recall his name on the ballot either. Christine McCarthy says, I seriously feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone or stuck in the Matrix and the software is crashing. What the hell is going on with people who are supposed to be respected leaders? I am actually shocked that Musk said the things he did about Americans, MAGA, etc. Salty Girl says, you're not alone in feeling this way. I am really shocked with Musk as well. I gave him way too much credit. AFN Nationalist says, it's literally the exact opposite of what we voted for. Salty Girl says, it sure is. And it goes on and on and on. I mean, they are really wrestling with this.
It's so interesting to me because none of what Donald Trump and Elon Musk said they were going to do or they are doing, it's exactly on brand. They lie. They're only thinking about themselves and the billionaires. I mean, let's not forget what Trump meant by getting immigrants out of the country and deporting, mass deportation, was deport the Black and brown immigrants because he married 2 white immigrants. Elon Musk is a white immigrant that overstayed his visa.
But who they're wanting to come in right now are Indians. On the H-1B visas. And so that's why the MAGA base is unraveling because yes, they thought it was get rid of the Black and brown immigrants,
people.
But Elon Musk wants these H-1B visas for these tech bros to be able to come in. They can't be unionized. He can pay them less than he can pay an American. And so MAGA is completely spiraling. Laura Loomer and Steve Bannon are just beside themselves. I mean, they are just dying. But let's listen to this 180 from Trump.
Why'd you change your mind on H-1B visas, sir?
I didn't change my mind. I've always felt we have to have the most competent people in our country. We need competent people. We need smart people coming into our country. And we need a lot of people coming in. We're going to have jobs like we've never had before.
But sir, you said you changed your position. You plan to go to the Carter.
I just want to, in case you couldn't hear that with all Hail the Chief playing in the background at the Roach Motel Mar-a-Lago, he says we need a lot of people coming in. So you can understand now when I read to you the thread from Salty Girl and all of the right-wing MAGA people losing their minds. He is now complete opposite of what he campaigned for.
Well, that is no surprise to anyone because he is a liar. He has no plan. And for them to say seems like the president and we didn't elect him, well, no shit. Elon Musk is holding Donald Trump on a leash. He is his lapdog. He is his bitch. And there is no shock that Trump is doing exactly what Elon Musk wants to do because Trump has one purpose in life, and that's money. He doesn't give a shit about anybody else. He threw his base red meat so they would become rabid and roll out, and they did. And now he's doing exactly what they don't want. And for them to act shocked, like, I know I shouldn't be shocked, but the fact that they are like, this isn't what we voted for. He's not doing what we wanted him to do. No shit. No shit. He has lied from day one. Why all of a sudden are you just waking up to this? Where have you been the last 10 years?
Well, one could argue it's a cult. And that's why they believed all of this. Okay, here's another hilarious little nugget. Don Jr. on his podcast, he has trashed the New Year's party at Mar-a-Lago, and he has said that Dad's pals treat me like I'm a freaking imbecile.
I wonder why.
So I thought that was pretty juicy.
Here's the deal. They treat him like an imbecile because he is an imbecile. It's ridiculous that his kids are so involved in every aspect, that Kushner's dad, Tiffany Trump's father-in-law. I mean, it is the most
Nepo baby
world on the planet. But here's the thing about these billionaires. I'm sure they think that Don Jr. is an imbecile. I'm sure they think Lara and Eric
It's
are
not
imbeciles.
think he's an imbecile. They are imbeciles.
They are imbeciles, and they have no patience for it.
Okay, another little juicy nugget. Elon Musk has changed his name on Twitter, which he also changed the name of Twitter to X, to Kekius Maximus.
What in the hell does that mean?
This is a man that's worth $400 billion that allegedly has a burner account named Adrian Dittman, where he communicates with himself because he's so wildly insecure that $400 billion couldn't fix his insecurity. And now he's changed his name to Kekius Maximus. These people are cosplayers.
Yes.
These people are wildly insecure, toxic. It's been rumored that Elon Musk is an addict, untreated addict. And I think the evidence kind of shows that that's probably true. Then if we go into the New Year's Eve night, I just want, and I'm really sorry for what I'm going to play for everybody, but Lara Trump did a little routine on stage at Mar-a-Lago. And, you know, Tom Petty is cool.
Always has been, yeah.
You know, he is a cool guy. He's a singer-songwriter. He's iconic. And then we have MAGA ruining everything cool about American culture. And I'm really sorry again, but we all have to hear this. Okay. Imagine if Kamala Harris had won, and then she has Doug Emhoff or one of his kids on stage covering a song where, number one, they're not a good singer whatsoever. And then you see in other clips of this Mar-a-Lago party, which, let me remind you, is nothing more than a flea market down there. All they do is sell riffraff, knickknacks. It is a roach motel of toxic people. Imagine that then Kamala and, some billionaire, let's say it's George Soros, are constantly dancing horribly to the song YMCA, because that is what Trump and Elon Musk are doing. And they are the two, just so painful. It's so painful. Okay, here's just some things that I want to fight for. He's going to be sworn in.
Yeah. He's
awful. A lot of terrible shit is going to happen. Can we all stand up for talent?
Absolutely.
Can we stand up and say, we want, when people are on stage singing, they need to be talented unless you're at a karaoke bar. That's the only caveat to that. If you're going to be a dancer, be a professional dancer. I'm tired of all of the imposters in MAGA. And I know that we're not going to be able to fix all the policy hellfire that they're going to rain down on everybody. Can we just preserve some simple things like Lara Trump can't sing.
Right.
Donald Trump can't dance. And I'm sick to death of Elon Musk going out trying to do this toe touch and doing all this bro jumping stuff. It's ridiculous. They're embarrassing flea bags. I've had it.
I completely agree. A couple things on the Lara Trump deal. Why do the people around her not stop her? How did we get here? Where was the adult in the room? Tom Petty's estate has cease and desist her to the end of time to stop using his music. Again, the laws don't apply to people in MAGA. They just do whatever the fuck they want. But where's Eric, her husband, to say, you're just not a good singer?
Here's the problem with that argument. You would have to apply logic to it. And we have a man who is the patriarch of this wildly dysfunctional, toxic family, who has the worst comb over on the history of the planet, cannot apply makeup, speaks incessantly about Hannibal Lecter, where he gets confused about an insane asylum and people seeking asylum. He tried to give a microphone a blowjob. And then let's not forget when he stood on stage for 30 minutes with Kristi Noem, who shot a dog and bragged about it,
Right.
was like, hey, don't you want to listen to your songs and dance? Don't you want to listen to your songs and dance? So the notion that anybody is going to rearrange the deck chairs on this Titanic it's never going to happen. It will never happen. Nobody's going to stop Lara. Nobody's going to stop Trump. Nobody's going to stop Musk. They can all whine and, piss the bed in the comment sections on Twitter. But at the end of the day, their magnetism towards him and this whole ideology, it gets down to a couple of things. Number one, they like owning the libs more than they do anything else. And number two, they like the racism. And so lo and behold, I guarantee you in a month or two, all of these people that are pissing the bed right now on X in the comments section will be like, yes, we need to import immigrants because Americans are too stupid. Yes, we're too dumb for these jobs. They will end up championing this idea.
Well, you're right, because they do vote against their own interest and they seem to come around to whatever craziness they shell out. But I'm with you. We can't agree on facts. Nobody believes in facts anymore. Nobody can agree on science. Nobody can believe experts. So maybe where we start bridging the divide in this country is that Lara Trump is not a talented singer and that Elon Musk has no business dancing
or jumping
on stage ever, and that Donald Trump has bad hair. Are those basic things can we start there?
Yeah, and can the left, if George Soros were palling around with Kamala Harris like this had she won, and then all of a sudden he changed his Instagram name, his Twitter name to Kekius Maximus, Fox News would hyperventilate.
Yeah.
It would be resting heart rate 250. We have to resuscitate immediately.
Right.
They would die. They would unravel. But with all of them, it's like, oh yeah, Kekius Maximus. I'm like, what planet are we living on? We used to be a somewhat serious country.
Right.
With smart people, we valued expertise. We valued integrity. All of that is completely gone. And we have these two dipshits constantly dancing to YMCA. And here's one final thing that pisses me off about MAGA. They love to talk about Make America Great Again and going back to these simpler times in their mind where people were far more marginalized. But they want to piggyback onto the arts when it behooves them. Right. They want to be fans of Tom Petty. When they watch sports, they're all about African-American athletes. They, want to, the gay anthem, YMCA, they want to take that over. But when it comes time to help the arts, what do they want to do? They want to slash it. This is not a party that values culture, because how you get all of this artistry is freedom. Mm-hmm. This is where it's all born. And MAGA is the most anti-freedom party this country has ever seen. It is an oligarchy, and Elon Musk, aka Kekius Maximus, is in charge of the United States. What is going on?
It's so terrifying. And you're right. Elon Musk is in charge, and that's scary because he's running around alleged to be on ketamine. Like you said, all of his behavior would support that, changing his name. This guy has 10, 11, 12 kids, and he's running around with Donald Trump every day, but yet he wants to overpopulate the world. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with him? So many things. Donald Trump is just grotesque. The whole thing, I cannot believe that in less than a month, Donald Trump will be the president of the United States. It's so terrifying.
It is unbelievable that the United States outdid itself in the stupidity realm.
Right.
It is unbelievable that this man was able to run again. It is a failure from top to bottom, left to right, and the mainstreaming of stupidity and people snubbing their noses at expertise and worshiping an idiot who tries to act like he's a cheerleader named Kekius Maximus is so embarrassing. I am so embarrassed for all of the people that think that this is cool, cute, neat, and fun, because it's dangerous. And sadly, as much as we're giggling, people are going to suffer under this.
They are.
Okay, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
It's so
So what's the matter, MAGA? You're still finding out, aren't you? You're still finding out that everything that the Democrats have been saying about Trump all this time was true. He lies, and he lies only for selfish reasons. And when he gets what he wants, he does what he wants. And nothing. I mean, you people thought that he promised you things? No, 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 no. He never promised anybody anything. Okay, let's get that straight. In all his fucking rallies, he never promised anybody a goddamn thing. Okay, he said things that he wanted to do, but he never promised. Okay, he never promised, and so he doesn't feel, or he ever felt obligated to have to do anything. He just wanted people to vote for him. Okay, and so he's president-elect now, and ever since then, he's been, sort of backpedaling on the price of groceries going down, and, backpedaling on, immigration and stuff like that. He said he was going to get rid of people, and now he's talking about bringing in all kinds of people from India to work in the tech field, I guess, for Elon Musk, because I think, because like I said, Elon Musk was the one that first said it, and now Trump was saying that. So he wants these people to work for the tech industry for Elon Musk and pay him less. Well, here's the problem with that idea, okay? You bring these people into this country to work, and if you think you're going to pay them peanuts and expect them to live in this country with peanuts, you're going to have a problem, because they're going to be the first ones to say, hey, I want more money, or I'm going back to India. You're not going to be able to keep these people here. Okay? Just because they work for peanuts in that country, India, okay, where, the money will last longer, doesn't mean they're going to take that same amount and come here and live in this country with peanuts. No, 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 no. So, it might sound like a good idea for Musk, but like I said, he ain't thinking. And neither is Trump, because, like I said, Trump has already told people through the year that, he wanted to get rid of immigrants, called them criminals, called them exiles from mental hospitals. I mean, he laid it on thick with these people, and they're eating your cats and dogs and shit like that. And hell, that's what the right wing, that's what MAGA wanted to hear. All right, you promised these people this kind of shit, and that's what they wanted you as president for. And now all of a sudden, he's starting to sing a different tune, and they don't like it. And like I said, this is something that doesn't shock the Democrats. Okay, we laugh at this because it's the same thing about "I told you so." We're laughing at it. It's because we can't believe how stupid people can be. How stupid MAGA can be. And they dare to challenge Democrats on the intellectual level, that they know better, right? Okay? And here all along, their orange god is up there shitting on them while they're sitting there defending them. And I feel like, what's the point, really, to try to reason with anyone in MAGA? I've kind of given up on that, because anytime somebody tries to, corner me or something like that with an issue, I don't even bother with it, because I know that these people are proceeding against me on false assumptions, okay? And the idea that they would understand my point of view when these people act so deadpan, on their point of view, that they're just never ever going to concede that they're wrong, why bother? You know what I'm saying? Why bother with these people, these miscreants? Okay, they're just the people in our country that we relegate, to lesser tasks, lesser responsibilities, because they can't handle, the responsibilities the rest of us have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. They can't do these things. All right. It's an intellectual handicap, because they never took the time growing up or understanding anything in the world around them, and so they've neglected their view of the world. They've kept themselves in the dark, and therefore most of what these people think about, you know, Democrats or whatever, or even the people that, you know, that live around them, come from an antiquated position that, you know, has already been left behind decades ago, but they still bring that up as if that's really a topic that's really important. They think it's still relevant in today's times, and it's not. Okay, we've gone past that already, and they still cling to those things because they don't keep themselves aware of how society is evolving. They don't try to understand why things are changing the way they are, and if they don't take the time to do any of that, then, you know, what they got to say really isn't important. All right, and you know, it's like having a computer and you neglect having it updated when it's supposed to be updated. After a while, that computer isn't going to function very well on the internet because it's going to be too outdated. And eventually, because you never updated it, you're going to have to go out and buy a brand new fucking computer, okay, because you stopped updating it. Well, that's kind of the same thing with MAGA. These people in MAGA are computers that have not been updated in a very, very long time. And now they're banging into walls trying to fit in society, and they don't like it. They don't like the way things are. They don't like how it's all changed, and they want it to go back. They want it to go back to the way things were. Well, you know, we don't have a time machine. We can't go back. Everything about humanity is evolution. It's all about moving forward. And if you want to go back, it's going to be just you and not a whole lot of other people that want to go back. And it's not fair for you people who are the minority to tell the rest of the country that we need to go back. We don't want to. Okay? And that's because we have a vision of what this country should be, and we're trying to get to that. You know? And I feel like, you know, this is, you know, when you hear these people getting all upset and angry because, oh, we've been used by Trump. You know, he's got another agenda, which he never told us he had, okay? And he's got Elon Musk next to him, who we didn't vote for and wouldn't have if he was on the ballot, okay? And you got J.D. Vance, who's really just, you know, a secretary, okay? You know, you got this crazy ass administration that's about to take office, and to call it, you know, a presidential administration, to me seems like a mischaracterization of what they really are. Okay, these people are not going to be there for the United States. They're there for corporate America. All right. And they got their claws in the government, so that way they can, you know, rig it so that way the corporate side of our country can make more profit. That's what they're there for. That's what they're going to be there for. Everything else, all our concerns, you know, about, you know, global warming and the price of food and the wages and jobs and all that other stuff that Biden and Kamala have been, you know, trying against all opposition from MAGA to remedy. Those things he's not even gonna bother with that. That's just stuff you just throw that in the trash. I'm not gonna deal with it. Okay? So what are we gonna get for 4 years? Well, we're gonna get a lot of drama, for one thing, okay? Because the infighting has already started. And it ain't gonna let up, because this is the kind of shit that went on the first time he was president. There was all kinds of, you know, infighting, Trump fighting with other leaders of other different countries, you know, the fucking tariff against China that decimated the farmers in this country. You know, there was always strife with him, and we're going to have a repeat of that again this year. You know, all the question mark is who's going to be hit the hardest with this second Trump administration here. Who's going to be hit the hardest? Because you know, or you should know anyway, that the biggest thing that's on his mind is retribution. He wants to go after everybody that ever fucked him over in the last 4 years, okay? He wants to go after everybody that he can. He's going to use this, he's going to weaponize the Oval Office so he can get revenge on everybody that tried to do him wrong. you know, or tried to make him answer for the crimes that he committed. He's going to do it. I mean, Liz Cheney, she's on the list, okay? I hope she's got protection. I hope she knows what she's doing, because I'll tell you, he's going to come after her. He's going to go after her. And, you know, I feel like it's going to be a shit show. And she's one target. There's going to be others. And Elon Musk is going to end up getting kicked out of the Oval Office as well eventually, because Trump will get sick of him. And, you know, people that work with Trump are going to get sick of Elon Musk, and they're going to be pressuring Trump to get rid of him. So, you know, his days are numbered. You know, and you got people in MAGA, you know, Laura Loomer, you know, saying, you know, Musk has to go. Okay? He has to go. You know, they're all getting sick of Musk, and, you know, they don't like him being in there. You know, it's just, he's a guy that gave Trump a lot of fucking money so he could win his election. And, you know, now he feels like, you know, he has permission now to ride on Trump's coattails. And the fact that he's got Trump's ear and he's telling him to do these things. And a lot of it is just basically him telling Trump to do stuff for him and his business, okay, is going against everything Trump was saying he was going to do. Now all of MAGA is up in arms over him again. You know, so this is this love. Well, no, there was love, but now it's more of a hate relationship now between Musk and MAGA, okay? But if they think just getting rid of Musk is going to change the direction that you know, Trump and the rest are going, they're wrong, because you still got Trump. Okay, you can get rid of Musk, but Trump is still going to be doing some shit that he wants to do for himself, and it's not going to matter what MAGA wants or wanted. Okay, he's not going to care. Yeah, he'll sacrifice Musk maybe to shut up MAGA for a while, but once he starts in doing the things that he wants, MAGA's going to get mad again. So, like I said, it's funny, you know, but at the same time, not surprising, because the Democrats, and I could have told these people that this stuff was doomed. You know, this Musk-Trump thing was doomed. And, you know, I don't, like I said, I don't feel the need to have to defend myself anymore now, especially with all this stuff going on. Trump has just proven me right every fucking day he's around. He's proven me right. He's proving every Democrat that ever said anything about Trump that wasn't kissing his butt. He's proven us all right, you know, and he's going to continue to do that all the way, you know, and don't even expect MAGA to come crying and say, "I apologize." Never, ever, 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 ever going to happen, okay? They will never. They'll find ways to explain it. I mean, Fox will be the one to lead the way on how do we justify Trump and the things he's not delivering for us, you know. They're going to come up with all kinds of excuses, ways to blame the Democrats, maybe point the finger at Biden, you know, or something, anything, to deflect, you know, blame and anger somewhere else, okay? That's what they're going to be there for. They're going to help to deflect criticism away from Trump, you know. So it's going to be interesting to see the hoops that they'll jump through, the mental gymnastics they're going to have to play in order to, you know, smear the Democrats for the bad times that are going to come. Okay, even though we got no control over either house or the Supreme Court. Okay, but somehow we're going to be responsible. I feel like this is crazy times coming, and we're people with a brain, with intelligence. We're dreading this day, the 20th, like it's going to become the last day on Earth for the whole, you know, for everybody, because essentially it's going to be the last day of the United States because we're officially going to go into an oligarchy with very limited freedoms, you know, and you'll be seeing, you know, because, hey, these people are anti-freedom, they're anti-knowledge, they're anti-expertise. These people are going to be the most ridiculous administration this country has ever seen, okay? The most ridiculous. And I don't care, you know, you can name any other administration, but no, this one's going to take the cake. This one here is really going to take the cake, okay? Because all the people that he's picked haven't got a brain between them to be able to do the jobs they've been elected to do, because they were put there to destroy the departments that they're going to be running, okay? That's what this is about. So, let's go to commercial break, and we'll be right back.
This is me.
This is me.
This is me.
I'm Alex Curtis. I'm a lobsterman in Maine, and this is me.
I'm Ruth McLaughlin, and this is me.
I'm Eric Hopkins. I'm an artist, and this is me.
This
is me.
Me.
This is me.
This is me.
This is me.
At the end of the journey, the main thing is you, original.
A message for the U.S. Senate. Every action has consequences, and senators who vote for Trump's Project 2025 agenda are about to learn that. Trump's tariff plan is going to hit American families hard, and you'll be to blame. His team wants to end the biggest veterans health care program, and you'll be the ones who said our men and women who served lose their coverage. You'll be the ones who give billionaires like George Soros and Elon Musk huge tax cuts and screw middle-class workers. And don't be fooled. Elon and Trump are asking you to make cuts that hurt your state, your voters, real people. Not to save money, but to move it away from your state and into their pockets and to their friends and allies.
Be a part of the entertainment value of a lifetime.
I loved it.
It was the best performance I've seen in a lifetime.
I loved the show. I liked it very much. He's a very entertaining man. It's well worth the money.
Now appearing in Charlottetown, coming to Halifax November 6th to the 18th, and St. John November 20th through the 26th.
So I want to read this post here from Robert Reich. Well, let me just read this here because I think it's really important here. So let's go with this here. Starts off, friends. In the wake of Kamala Harris's loss to Trump, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says he isn't going to criticize Trump's nominees, quote, because that's all a distraction, unquote. A distraction from what? Governing? Had 35-year-old Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez succeeded in her recent bid to become the lead Democrat in the House Oversight Committee, she would have represented a generational shift for the party and given it an energetic communicator with anti-establishment views. But the party wouldn't have it. The position went instead to 74-year-old Jerry Connolly, a longtime representative from Virginia who was next in line. Some Democrats are now even calling for Biden to pardon Trump. South Carolina Representative Jim Clyburn says a pardon for Trump would be a way of, quote, cleaning the slate, unquote, for the country. Pennsylvania's John Fetterman posted on Trump's Truth Social, no less, that the, quote, Trump hush money and Hunter Biden cases were both bullshit and pardons are appropriate, unquote. Now that's bullshit. I've been around long enough to remember how Democrats reacted to Adlai Stevenson's 2 defeats to Republican Dwight Eisenhower. They said it was time for Democrats to move to the center. When Humbert Humphrey lost to Richard Nixon, Democrats said it was time for Democrats to move to the center. When Jimmy Carter lost to Ronald Reagan, move to the center. When Walter Mondale lost to Reagan, the center. When Mike Dukakis lost to George H.W. Bush, when Al Gore, when John Kerry, when Hillary Clinton, and on it goes. Center, center, center. What has this refrain bought Democrats, apart from campaign contributions from big corporations and the wealthy? A loss of purpose. Some Democrats warn along the way that a move to the so-called center would erode the party's noblest goals. Ted Kennedy admonished Democrats at the 1980 National Convention not to forget the fight for, quote, the cause of the common man and the common woman, unquote. Historian Arthur Schlesinger, Jr., wrote in the New York Times that, quote, Me Too Reaganism, unquote, would be disastrous for Democrats because, quote, if American voters are in a conservative mood, they will surely choose the real thing and not a Democratic imitation, unquote. But Democrats didn't listen. In the late 1980s, they became, quote, New Democrats, unquote, almost indistinguishable from, quote, Reagan Democrats, unquote. In 1996, Bill Clinton said, quote, the era of big government is over, unquote, ending welfare, enacting a vicious crime bill, and deregulating Wall Street. 20 years later, when Bernie Sanders tried to return the Democrat Party to giving voice to working people being shafted by CEOs and Wall Street, he was kneecapped by the Democrat National Committee to make way for Hillary Clinton, who lost to Trump. Democrats have been moving to the so-called center so long they pushed the center toward authoritarianism. It's more important than ever for Democrats to hold Trump accountable, even if doing so takes years. Democrats must also oppose any Trump move to prosecute those who have tried to hold him accountable. Democrats must commit to opposing Trump's agenda of deporting millions of people who, although undocumented, have been long-standing members of their communities, substituting Trump loyalists for dedicated civil servants, and appointing dangerous wackos like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard, and Peter Hegseth, who shouldn't be allowed to get anywhere near our government. Now more than ever, Democrats should call out the multimillionaires and multi-billionaires who are taking over our system by making gigantic campaign contributions and then seeking tax cuts, regulatory rollbacks, and exemptions to tariffs for their own businesses. Yes, I'm talking about you, Elon Musk. It's time for Democrats to commit to getting big money out of American politics. Now is the time for Democrats to do what they used to do before the Democrat Party tried to move to the so-called center. Comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. Strengthen safety nets, increase public investments, pay for all this by raising taxes on the super wealthy. This is no time for retreat, no time for compromise. There can be no center between decency and indecency, no center between democracy and authoritarianism, no center between a government of billionaires and a government of the people. All true, you know, all true. People have, you know, a lot of people recently have been complaining a lot about how the Democrat Party dropped the ball in this last election. Okay, and maybe in some regard, it wasn't so much that they dropped the ball, but they just simply did not utilize, you know, what they could have. And like I mentioned this before about messaging. Okay, I think it was important for Democrats to grab hold of the internet, you know, like AOC does, and use it to deliver their message, because that's what Republicans and MAGA were doing. Okay, they got all these big heads on the internet, you know, that are talking for them, and like it or not, you know, people are tuning in and listening to their propaganda. But the Democrats, you know, what you have progressive voices out there, and they're not the politicians, okay? They're just people, you know, like me, that are doing these things on their own, okay, to get the messaging out, but they don't get the attention that, say, you know, somebody from the right wing would be when they're talking. I mean, of course, like I said, you got Fox News, you got a whole machine, basically, on the right, just for that purpose, to deliver the message. And the Democrats are, you know, hesitant to build that kind of machine for their side. And I think, you know, we're in the 21st century. We got the internet. Everybody's always on it, okay? Why not? What's the fucking problem? I mean, they certainly, you know, when the radio come out, okay, even at the time, I mean, the president used to get on the radio and tell people stuff he was going to do. I mean, there was no problem with that. People, you know, because we didn't have television, but the radio was how he got his message out. Okay, and then when television come out, you know, presidents used to address the nation. Okay, and so when we come up with when we have the internet, when we come up with the internet, you got one party that seemed to be carrying on that tradition of using it to get their message out. But then the other side is decided, you know, because they figure it's really beneath them or something, because they think people that use the internet in that fashion are just a bunch of loudmouths and self-centered and looking for attention. Okay, well, let's put in perspective here. You know, the fact that AOC was using it and still does. Okay, talking to her supporters, you know, on Instagram and I think other outfits that she's got an account with, and she gets her message out to the people. And in this election that we had, people who voted for Trump, some of them also voted for AOC. Okay, and you know, it kind of stunned her a little bit that, you know, that some of the MAGA people were voting for her, but there was a commonality there. Just like with Trump, she was reaching out to her supporters, you know, through the internet and everything else like he was doing. I mean, it works. So the old clan that's in the Democrat Party, okay, if they can't adjust their tactics for the times, then they need to just step aside and make way for the younger generation to go in there and direct the Democrat Party in a better direction. okay? Because the way that they've been doing things now hasn't helped at all, okay? This idea about, oh, seniority and all this shit, no. In the politics, you earn your fucking seniority. I don't care if you're 12 years old. If you're better than a 75-year-old, okay, at doing the job, then that, guess who should get that position? Okay, that's the way I look at it. I don't care how long somebody's been sitting there. If they don't deserve that spot, they ain't getting it. You know, and I feel like, you know, AOC was a lost opportunity here, and thanks to Nancy Pelosi, you know, she was blocked from being able to get that position, an oversight committee. Okay, she would have been perfect for that job. But until Nancy Pelosi actually retires for real, okay, that's never going to be the case, and that's why I say, you know, she needs to go, Nancy Pelosi. She's done her time. Go home, okay, go home. You know, your days of, you know, sucking up the spotlight are over, because you're yesterday. You are yesterday, just like Donald Trump is yesterday. He shouldn't even be president. His ideas are old-fashioned, and he's just there for himself anyway. So he's bringing nothing new to help this country along. Nothing. All right? He's the worst of the 80s. Okay? He's one of the dinosaurs of the 80s that really doesn't want to go away and fade off into the history books where he belongs, because, you know, he still feels he's got a purpose, and that purpose is to make himself more rich. But I feel like you know, Trump is just, along with other people in that period. I mean, they've had their chance. Okay, they had their fucking chance, and it's over now. It's just fucking over. You know. Now, for people to keep bitching that Democrats need to come to the center, okay, here's the thing about that. Democrats should only come to the center when the Republicans move to the center. Because if you move to the center and they're still on the extreme right, okay, what do you think's going to happen? Nothing. Because those people on the extreme right, you know, it's with their attitude, with their way or the highway, it doesn't matter how far to the center you get. It's not enough, because if you're not all the way on their side, they're just never going to listen to you. Okay? So why bother moving to the center if they're not willing to move to the center? So the Democrats should be moving further to the left in order to counterbalance, you know, the right wing, the way it is now. They have to counterbalance that. And yes, that means further division in the country, which is something that I don't like. But at the same time, it's the logical position, because, you know, if both sides can't come to the center in order to start the way to govern, okay, which is by negotiation and compromise, you have to be at the center of both of you in order to do that. And if you're not, okay, if only one side is there, you're just coming to the table, twiddling your thumbs, waiting for the other people to show up, and they never show up. It's, you know, it's like going to a party and you're the only one there. What's the point coming to the center? You know, what they're going to do is they're just going to work on you, you know, while you're in the center, and they're just going to, you know, attack you or criticize you because you won't come further to the right, you know, because like I said, that's the attitude right now with the right wing. It's their way or the highway, you know. And you can see where that's got them. They set themselves up to be used by people like Trump and Musk. You know, they put themselves in the position of being easy fodder for these, you know, billionaires to manipulate. That's what happens, you know, because, hey, when you're so far to the right, you know, people like Trump make sense to you. You're lost, okay? So that's, you know, like I said, that idea that all this time, you know, come closer to the center. No, that doesn't work, okay? The further they move from the center, the further we ought to move from the center, because you have to counterbalance, you know, extremism. You have to counterbalance that. And right now, like I said, these people got to their position unreasonably, and you can't reason them to come back to the center. You can't. They have to experience their mistake. They have to go through their mistake. They have to learn from their mistake the hardest way possible. And after that, maybe they would be more open to listening to the left, and maybe some will come to the center. Some already have. Some already have ditched the MAGA party and have just simply said fuck them, and either given up on politics, or they've just decided to be just a more center Republican, which they could that sets them up to be primaried at some point down the road. But that's what they do, So it's not the MAGA party is only unified at the core, but around it you have regular Republicans who are just, if they're not thinking like they are, then those Republicans aren't even welcome in MAGA. Okay, so you can't have a political party like that last very long. It's gonna implode, and we're seeing that right now. Like I said, they clung all their fucking hopes to Donald Trump, and now he's he's backpedaling. He's backpedaling, and Elon Musk is kind of helping him along with backpedaling, and MAGA doesn't like it because they invested everything they had into Trump, and Trump is going to take away all their hopes and dreams there of having a Nazi type country here, because that's what that was. They were leading us to was that. But one thing that comes to mind, about how hard it is to change things back, is we look at the Roe v. Wade example here and what happened with that, how quickly that got overturned, and it's still overturned. It could be years before we ever fix that again. You realize that, don't you? It could be many years before we can ever return that back the way it was. And the Democrats were at fault for never codifying that fucking ruling when they should have. Okay, they missed. That was an opportunity that they just kept kicking down the road, along with a lot of other things. But they left that door unlocked, so that way Republicans could walk right in and undo everything. But now, look how long it took us just to get that in the first place. I imagine it's going to take a very long time. We may have to wait till the Supreme Court justices kick off, before we can even do that. And how long is that going to be? I may be dead and buried by the time that fucking thing comes up again and is readjusted for, to go back the way it was. It could be that long down the fucking road. I mean, I feel like this is the reason why people need to fucking never react on emotion over something that they don't agree with. If you're not thinking about the repercussions of what a decision like that could mean, okay, then you're not really thinking the whole picture. Now, Republicans were, about that issue, they were saying, oh, well, we want this to go back to the states. We want this to be a state issue, okay? They were trying to suppress all the anger and stuff that was out there about what happened. But they're saying, no, we just want this to be in the hands of the state instead of the government. Well, okay, but now we got Texas out there trying to sue other states for allowing abortions to happen, okay? And it's like, well, wait a minute, you said this was supposed to be a state issue, right? So what gives Texas the right to sue another state? Is Texas all of a sudden now a country in itself that that, you see what I'm saying? The whole thing about it was taking steps. Okay, the first step was to overturn Roe v. Wade. Second step was to argue that it was supposed to be for states to have the right to do what they want. Third step was to slowly wiggle this into becoming a federal ban. That's where we're at now. Okay, They couldn't go from overturning Roe v. Wade to making a federal ban overnight, which is what they wanted to do from the get-go. No, it had to be done in increment steps, okay, to get to that point. And in the meantime, okay, everybody, they let people seethe over this thing for a while, and then they wait until the ban is implemented in some states, and they suppress any data that might come out to suggest that their ban is not working, which it ain't. Okay, it's actually causing more deaths than they anticipated. But now with Trump being the president now, and everybody, the government under control of the MAGA movement, okay, it's going to be so easy now to implement that federal ban, okay, because, hey, we got the Supreme Court that'll back it. So, hey, that federal ban goes into effect, probably on day one when Trump is sworn in. What do you think this country's going to do then? How are they going to stop it? They're going to have to at least live with it for the time, for as long as the Supreme Court is here, because they're never forcibly reverse that. You see what I'm saying? Trump will never be able to. Well, he won't be able. He just won't fucking undo it. Okay. And I feel like this is how close we are to having a federal ban on abortion, and any state governor who refuses to uphold that, God help them, because I don't know what that's going to mean, for the state, because Trump is already threatening, Denver, Colorado, or something, to get to take out immigrants, and the mayor over there or the governor sitting there saying, no, you ain't going to come into this state and do that shit. You see what I'm saying? You already got this stuff heating up already over this matter. But imagine the abortion issue, where the president's going to send in people to shut down abortion clinics, whether they like it or not. I don't really see anything good that's going to come out of this administration, out of this fucking next 4 years. And I would, hope that the Democrats have it in them to be able to oppose Trump in the same fashion that this country opposed England when they tried to keep this country under their thumb. You see what I'm saying? I hope they can defend this country with the same zeal that their ancestors did all those generations ago. Because if we don't, then it's going to be that much harder to get rid of authoritarianism in this country than we thought. And that's inching us closer to basically becoming, a dictatorship, because we wouldn't hold the ground here and now. Okay? Anybody that's ever been in combat knows you never give ground to the enemy, because it costs you more blood to take it back. You hold the ground. You hold that fucking ground, and then you keep working your way forward. But you never give to the enemy, ever. So that's the way the Democrats are going to have to deal with this incoming circus here, is that they're going to have to hold the ground and keep pushing forward. Okay? They're going to have to. I don't know what that's going to mean to people like Nancy Pelosi. Has she got it in her to make this fight or not? It might be more than she can handle, frankly. She's not a young lady anymore. But a lot of these other Democrats that are there, they may fucking just give up, because the fight will get so tough they won't be able to stand it, So they could just give up altogether, But I'm telling you, if we allow that to happen, and stuff, we're giving ground to the enemy, and you don't want to do that. That's not a thing you do, in a fight. You have to hold the ground. And the ground, people, is the Constitution. That's the ground we're standing on. That's the ground we're standing on as a country. It's up for grabs. Everything now is going to be up for grabs on January the 20th. Everything that we once knew what this country had and could do. It's all going to change now, or they'll try to make it change, but we have to fight back. And I think that's kind of what Robert Reich was saying here, and that is, you don't give ground to the enemy by coming to the center. You hold the ground. If that means defending the Constitution is an extreme left-wing thing, okay, then so be it. They can label it whatever the hell they want, but there's certain things you just don't retreat from, and that's one of those things. You don't retreat from your principles. All right, so that's it for today. So I hope everybody has a great, today's Thursday, Friday, upcoming weekend. So subscribe, comment, and share, and keep your ears open for health-related issues. And please, everybody, now that the holidays are over, let's rest up some here, try to relax. I know for some it's impossible because you're working, a lot of jobs. And jobs don't give a shit about how tired the workers are. You just keep working. So please, just try to make some time, to just get a breather here and there, and hopefully we'll see each other again. So I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.